going on, everybody? All my Star Wars, Clone Wars fans, we are back with another episode review for you guys going this week. Season 7, Episode 8, it is here. This arc is finally done, and we are heading into the Siege of Mandalore starting next week. My God, I'm so excited for next week. God, can it just be next week already? Because, yeah, I think we deserve it after getting through this arc, which I've already stated, and if you guys are new here, you probably don't know. I haven't minded this arc. I thought it was just fine. But after this episode, I definitely have some thoughts on this whole entire arc in general, and you know, I have some thoughts to say about this episode. So if you guys are new here, though, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button. If you guys love the Clone Wars, if you love Star Wars, or if the Force is with you, make sure to hit that like and subscribe button so you never miss out on content like this on a weekly basis. And I talk tons of movies on a daily basis over here as well. Make sure to comment down below and let me know your theories for next week, as well as what you thought about this episode, as what you thought about this whole entire arc. I want to hear your guys' thoughts down below in the comments section. I'm really excited to hear that because that's my favorite thing every week is reading the comments and hearing your guys' thoughts. So overall, what did I think of this arc of Ahsoka? So Ahsoka is one of my favorite Star Wars characters of all time, and I was really excited to see her come back in. And in general, this whole arc, I didn't love the first episode. Thought it was fine in this arc. Got to the second episode, still didn't really get the point of it. Really started liking the third episode, and then it's just a repetitive nature of them ending up back in the jail cell, which now makes me think of, like, why did we even have that? Like, you could have combined 2 and 3, you could even combine 3 and 4 together, and it would have made it for a more seamless interaction. I know most of the arcs are 4, I really felt like that was kind of missing there. And coming out of 4, I liked 4. I thought it was fine. Again, another fine episode. It was nice to see Ahsoka doing her Force powers. Loved seeing that stuff. All giddy on that types of things. But again, you know, it's fun to see that. And, you know, as a Star Wars fan, I like this type of Star Wars stuff. But then we go to the sisters, who had this whole subplot of going back to get the spice, which really has nothing to do with the story at all. It was pretty much just for them to leave so Ahsoka could do some of her powers, set the bombs, blow up the place. And really the biggest thing that kind of gave us was the setup for Darth Maul on Mandalore. And also the Crimson Dawn, that's a cool little Easter egg in there, of course, because if you've seen Solo, that ties in all that in entirety. And I'm curious if they'll make another... I'm still kind of hoping for a Crimson Dawn's sequel series on Disney+. I think that would actually be a really cool idea. Maybe I'm then the minority on that one. I think that would just be really cool to see that. Maybe that could be the next animated story they go through. But in general, yes, pretty much the biggest thing for sending the sisters away was to give them something else to do while Ahsoka finds out about Darth Maul. Plants the bombs. She gets caught. She uses some cool Jedi powers, which is awesome. You know, I like when she gets those action sequences. And the sisters get the spice in an unconventional way, which when they killed the lizard-looking man like Bosk, I was like sitting there, I'm like, damn, you guys are straight up murdering these people who are just trying to do their job. But besides that, they get the spice, they take it back. They end up finding Ahsoka as a Jedi, which we knew that was eventually going to happen. I was hoping that would have happened a little bit earlier than this, maybe even the last episode. But it happened in here, and it is the final episode of this arc. So they find out, they find out all that stuff. They blow up the grenades, all that stuff. They fly away, have a cool little ship battle. They land the ship. They have this nice discussion of saying how, you know, she does think like a Jedi. That's the way that we want to. Had this nice little understanding between them. Bam! Bo-katan. Woo! Katie Sackhoff walks right up and goes, hey, I need your help. We have a common enemy. Death Watch is gone. Do not worry about them, but we have some serious issues to deal with. You have a couple minutes to decide. And, you know, we all knew she was going to join them. I am so excited for next week, though. I'm wondering if Anakin joins in on this. I'm wondering if Obi-Wan joins in on this. Who is joining in to help Mandalorian, the Siege of Mandalore? What is going to be happening in that whole entirety? Darth Maul is going to be there. It is going to be a freaking awesome time. We know this is pretty much going to send Ahsoka back towards the Jedi pathway, which, will she become a full-on Jedi? I don't think so. I think that's kind of what we've gotten from Rebels and stuff, that she's helping the cause, but she's not following the order. And that's where I go to say this, and I want to still throw this theory out there. I said order for a reason. But before I get to my theory, guys, make sure to hit that like and subscribe. And again, if you have the Force with you, if you love the Star Wars Clone Wars, I want to make sure to talk with you guys every single week for this for the rest of the season. And make sure as well to comment down below and let me know your theories. I really want to hear your guys' thoughts on what I'm about to say. So, this has been my theory from the very first couple of episodes that I mentioned. I mentioned in a couple of these episodes. I am wondering if we will see Order 66 in the very last episode of this season. I have a very high likely that we will. And the reason I think that is because we've never seen, like, it's very close to Revenge of the Sith timeline from what I'm understanding in this. And that is where I'm kind of wondering, will we see Ahsoka dealing with Order 66. We've heard glimpses of it, of course, in the books, but never actually seen it. And I wonder if this is how we see her and Rex get away, because obviously Rex is not a part of Order 66 for some unknown reason that we understand through Rebels. But that is something that I'm really curious, and maybe it's not with Rex alone, but just in general with Ahsoka. Will she have to go through Order 66 in the Clone Wars? I'm actually very hoping yes. I think that would be a very interesting dynamic. Do the first three as Siege of Mandalore, and then the last one is kind of the epilogue to it all with Order 66 happening, ending in a despair and kind of being a perfect kind of tie-in to not just the end of Revenge of the Sith, but in general to whatever they want to do with Ahsoka's character next, into Rebels, into Rogue One, all sorts of things like that. I think it's a great tie-in. But also, we're getting Darth Maul in the next coming weeks. Of course, next week, we're going to get a little bit more of him, hopefully. We're going to get some action sequences. Probably a reunion between Ahsoka and Anakin, and that's just going to get me all giddy in that whole entirety. I'm so excited, guys. Again, I love Ahsoka. I didn't love this arc. I thought it was really one of the weakest arcs, personally, throughout the whole Clone Wars series. But, you know, I'm more looking forward to the future than this one, and I'm hoping Siege of Mandalore really makes up for this last arc, because I didn't mind this arc. It was just fine, but I didn't get the point of it because the sisters aren't even going with them. I thought, okay, the sisters will probably go with them and help, but they're not. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe they come in to help, but from what I understand, they're not. I don't know what they're in here for. They weren't even in Rebels. There's no reason in having them, so all that said, this arc was fine. It was entertaining at the most, I guess, but in general, it doesn't do anything for the Clone Wars series, or in general for this story. It does a little bits for Ahsoka, but you could have probably done it in a smaller, condensed story and kind of got into the Siege of Mandalore a little bit more, or focus it on something else. I would have rather preferred that. So, thank you guys again so much for watching this. Seriously, it means the world to me. I know this was very much a rant, a ramble, and a review, and all captured into one. But that's how these reviews go, guys. So I hope the Force is with you guys as well. I can't wait to talk next week with you guys. So may the Force be with us all, guys. And of course, until next time, stay classy.